Congratulations. How long am I target?
Well, the difference in the probation department from last year to this year is remarkable. And I'm really proud to say that, and proud to say that I just passed my 3-year anniversary. So does that make me a veteran or a local? 2 more years, okay. Yeah, it takes about 20 or 30. So, but anyway, I'm 3 years into it, so that's been really nice. This past year has been exciting. My best metaphor is to say that the wings are on the plane now. They're all buttoned down, and we're flying smooth. And we can still polish up the plane, maybe, but the plane is actually flying really well. A couple of things that we did that the whole department is proud of. We improved our on-time reports to the court. Our number one priority is to provide information to the court like that. And so that was exciting. The court was very appreciative of our efforts there. We increased the security around our reception desk by putting in some panic buttons or situations where somebody come in and was threatening the reception off. The receptionist in both of our offices, that they can push a button and get a quick response. We've improved our safety equipment to all of our staff. We've enhanced our training curriculum so that they're consistent. The last thing is that I'm extremely proud of is bringing in a couple of evidence-based practices. And why I'm so proud of that is that when I was interviewing to be a chief probation officer, one of the questions that came to me all the time is what's the future of probation? And my pat answer was around evidence-based practices. Well, the difficulty with evidence-based practices is they're either staff-rich or you need a lot of resources. And I really wanted to be a chief probation officer, so I kept saying that the trick is you need to be able to do that even though the economy may not be keeping up with you. And so with that, this year, we've been able to do that. We brought in a multi-dimensional treatment foster care program, which keeps our kids local. Keeps them in an intensive program, one-on-one with some professional foster parents, increases the rate of success, reduces recidivism. We brought in an assessment case management tool called PACT. That's Positive Achievement Change Tool. That's for the juvenile area. And whenever you're trying to do anything and have good results, you need to have a good assessment right up front, and we did not have one. So this is a real good start for us. And then we were invited to participate with the District Attorney's Office on a juvenile impact program where we actually got 8 kids up every morning at 5:30, took them out running, and then gave them some cognitive behavioral program in the afternoon. And of the 8, 7 of them made it to the final day. One of them blew it on the night before the graduation. But it was a very good graduation ceremony. The presiding judge, Judge Mayfield, showed up, and others were there. 2 kids spoke and had their parents nearly in tears as they spoke and talked about this program and stuff. So that was kind of the end of this year, and kind of puts the period on the end that this has been an excellent year for probation.
Thank you, Liz.
The Sheriff's Office would like to thank the largesse of some of our more well-to-do criminals in the county for for helping support a number of technology initiatives, some of which we began a couple of years ago, and now they're paying dividends. The ICOP system that we've installed in all of our patrol cars has been extremely valuable in resolving complaints against officers, because it provides a video record. The camera turns on anytime the emergency lights are activated or the car goes over 80 miles an hour. So it's not always about but it's an excellent system. It truly does help to identify, it separates the wheat from the chaff when it comes to a citizen complaint. We've also completely replaced our digital recording system in dispatch. And now, instead of having to go into a tiny little room to burn off a tape for prosecution, we can do it from any office on a network connection. I'm happy to say we only have 2 vacant deputy sheriff positions right now, and I just spoke with the sheriff about this morning. Our goal is to fill those for COVLO. So as we look to fill them, we will tell people, quite frankly, these positions are going to get a COBLA. We have some good people waiting in the wings, especially in our corrections division. We're focusing mostly on people who only need a recertification course rather than a full academy. There's a considerable savings there. Probably somewhat to Meredith's chagrin, we've been extremely effective at doing marijuana enforcement this year. At last count, I think we were over 650,000 plants, and if anyone had a question about our enforcement priorities, then they found out this year. We've expended about $550,000 in asset forfeiture toward microwave-related project expenses, principally additional radios to expand our VHF coverage in the county and make this safer for the officers and for the citizens. I think one of the best things to happen in-house, and we especially see this in the jail, is staff holding their peers accountable. We had an issue with use of compensatory time off, and it was affecting other people taking vacations or their regular days off. They would have to come in and cover for a shift where someone would suddenly take a CTO day. That policed itself. People recognized that they were responsible for their own morale, and they started dealing with these issues amongst themselves rather than see it escalate up into a grievance or elevate to my level. Cold cases, we continue a lot of good work in cooperation with Meredith's office and other agencies on investigating cold cases. We learned some tremendous lessons during the fires, working with agencies, and I think that's where in public safety all the relationships that we build and maintain throughout the years really pay off. Our experiment with hybrid vehicles is working out well. The sheriff and I are currently driving hybrids, and we're going to look to purchase additional hybrids, either for prisoner transportation if we can get a rig large enough, but especially for detectives. And earlier in the year, we talked with you about taking a renewed focus on our use of overtime. That continues. We are absolutely committed to monitoring that closely and looking for greater efficiencies. And speaking of efficiencies, I've been in discussion with Chief Dewey of Ukiah Police Department. We are both slated to receive new 911 equipment paid for by the state. We are looking to build on a common platform so that we have, to the greatest extent possible, interchangeability between our two dispatch centers. When we train a dispatcher on one system, they can go between offices if necessary. And if we have a major failure at one of those centers, public safety will still be covered by having a fallback center.
Question, Gary, in regards to, you mentioned the fires, of course, the huge amount of activity related to your department and evacuations and evacuation notices. Related to that, how are we coming on the reverse 911 phone system?
I think the PO's been cut. We're going to be working with DCC Corporation, and it may not be fully active by January 1st, but it'll be very close to that. There was an interesting play that occurred. We had some problems working with reverse 911, and we ended up actually canceling that contract, and I think it was the next day I got a call from the vice president and the president of DCC. They're both part of Plant Equipment, the larger company, and they have since bent over backwards to spec out a system for us and develop a pricing scheme that will give us a good, robust notification system.
Good news. Thank you very much.
It's the same system that the state uses.
Good. Good. Thank you. Ms. Sue.
Notable accomplishments, especially in the election division this year. We put on 3 major elections in 11 months. Staff deserves a round of applause for that. We were also patted on the back by the Secretary of State. She was really happy that there were no counties in California that made headlines. So she certainly gave kudos to us too.